What's up guys, I'm Matt Stefanina and welcome to the Idiot Genius YouTube channel. Now today we're gonna be doing a complete guide on getting started with crypto because I know when I was first starting out back in 2017, I had so many questions, terminology I didn't understand, where do I buy it, how does it work, why are people excited about it? So we're gonna answer all those things today. I'm also gonna show you how to get an account set up so you can start trading, and I'm even gonna show you how to get some free Bitcoin today. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and let's get started. So what is Bitcoin and what makes it different? Well, if I wanna wire my friend money, what do? I go down to the bank, I give the bank my money, they charge me a fee, they take a few days, and eventually they send it to my friend. But what if I could just directly and instantly send my friend that money? What Bitcoin does is it uses peer-to-peer technology to make transactions. So instead of sending my money to a bank, I'm sending it directly to my friend. That means that I can have faster transactions, much lower fees, and also that I don't have the issue of dealing with different currencies. Now, you may have also heard the term decentralized. It says here, Bitcoin is open source, its design is public, nobody owns or controls Bitcoin, and everyone can take part in it. And this is really, really important to know because there's no one that owns or controls Bitcoin. Nobody even knows who created Bitcoin. It means that it can't be tampered with. The rules are always the rules. They're gonna be the same every time. And there's a finite supply of Bitcoin, which in this case is 21 million. There can only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. So a lot of people will say, okay, great, I get it, but are people really paying for stuff with Bitcoin? And the truth is, no, not really. Not a lot of people are. But what this allows us to do is because of this finite supply of 21 million, it's a really great store of value. So in the same way that you could pay for some things with gold, you're not going to. If you're buying gold, you're buying it as an investment to hold it for a while, wait for the price to go up, and then eventually sell it or give it to your kids. But it's a store of value. Bitcoin is the same thing. We're not necessarily using it on a day-to-day for transactions. You're not buying your groceries with Bitcoin. But what you are doing is holding it, knowing that there's only so many that can ever exist. Now, right now, there are not yet 21 million. And that brings us to the topic of Bitcoin mining. Now, when I first heard the term Bitcoin mining, I was a little confused because I'm imagining guys with pickaxes and they're wheelbarrowing coins out of a mine. Clearly that's not how it works, but basically all you need to understand right now is that since Bitcoin's not owned by a company or a bank, there's no one to approve and verify transactions. So anyone can give computing power to the network and then they're rewarded with Bitcoin, which is the process of mining. All right, so now that you got some of the basics of Bitcoin, let's get into creating our account, setting this up, and making our first trade. Because one of the things that I've learned as someone who has watched a lot of YouTube tutorials on many, many subjects is that it's really easy to feel like you're being productive, but until you actually take action and do something, you're not really gonna learn, especially with trading, because let's face it, looking at charts of Bitcoin prices, it's not that interesting, it's not that fun, until you have some money into it. And then all of a sudden you wanna check every day, see how it's doing, learn the trends, learn what's going on, watch the news about it. It all of a sudden becomes a lot more fun. So what I would really encourage you to do today is set up your account, get started so that you have some incentive to keep coming back to these charts and these tutorials and continue to learn. So you're gonna click the link down below and it's gonna take you to Coinbase. And Coinbase is the first place that I learned how to trade. I think it's the best site to start off. They have a ton of free tutorials. It really helps make the process easy. And they also give you $10 in free Bitcoin when you sign up and start trading. So click the link below and you're gonna see a screen like this. You just basically create an account. And the great thing also about Coinbase is that you can buy Bitcoin with a debit card, with PayPal, you can wire from your bank account. They make it super, super easy to get started. So once you've gone ahead and created your account, you're gonna see that there's a lot of tabs here at the top. And the first one is prices. So if you've traded stocks before, this probably looks pretty familiar, but basically we just have some of the top coins here. You see Bitcoin, BTC is the ticker. You have the price, the change in the last 24 hours. Now you can click on any of the coins to get a more in-depth view. We've got some more stats here. You got the white paper, official website. And if you keep scrolling, you'll see top stories too, which when you're first starting out, some of these can be a little confusing, but it's good to just read them and get familiar with what types of things affect the market. Because as we talked about in a previous video, a lot of times what's affecting the market is not that Bitcoin is good or Bitcoin is bad. It's just the news stories around it. China bans Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin goes down, right? But if it's Tesla accepts Bitcoin as payment, the price goes crazy. Nothing changed with Bitcoin. It's just the news stories and the narratives around it. So it's good to get familiar with these news stories, how they're affecting things, and also just with the site. Now, the other thing we have on Coinbase that I was saying was really great is this learn feature. So in here, there's some tips and tutorials, some crypto basics, how to set up a crypto wallet, which we're going to talk about in a different video, because there is a difference between an exchange, which is what we're on now with Coinbase, and a wallet. And I'm going to explain that in another video, but really, really good to get familiar with all this stuff. Now, the last thing to know about Coinbase is that they don't have a lot of coins listed here for trading. And that's both good and bad. The good part of that is it means that they have done a lot of research before they add the coins. So you're not going to get some random coin that some influencer is pumping out of nowhere. That's not a real project, not a real company. These are coins that have been around for a little bit. They generally have big market caps, a lot of investors, and they're a little bit more stable. Now, with that said, obviously, crypto is risky. You can still lose all your money. But what I'm saying is, if we look at these top coins, over here is the market cap column, and for instance, we have Phantom. The market cap is $7 billion. So you can be pretty sure that Phantom was not created yesterday by some guy in his garage. It's a legit project. Now, the downside to that is it is a little bit limited. So once you become familiar with trading, you start to get comfortable and you want to go into some riskier coins, some newer projects. That's when we're going to venture outside of Coinbase and go into some other exchanges. But for now, great place to start. So in other videos, we'll go deeper into my trading strategies, what I'm buying, how to make money in this market. But for this one, I just wanted to give you a really solid foundation and most importantly, help you take the action step to creating an account, because I know so many people that talk about trading crypto and how they want to get into it and they never actually follow through. So make sure you click the link below, set up your Coinbase account, get started, even if it's just a small trade, so that you have some money in the market and you're incentivized to follow along and continue to learn. Now, I'm going to keep making videos for you guys, and it really helps to have your feedback. So down in the comments below, let me know what you thought of this video. Also, if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them or even make future videos about them if they're topics that need a little bit more explaining. But make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Also hit the bell and switch it to on so you get notifications for all my future videos. And I'll see y'all back here on the next one.